Welcome back, y'all. It's your boy Complicated Art Man here in Orlando, Florida. Today we're going to be talking about some beach life. Boom, that's what I'm talking about right there, some beach life. Here's what I got going on today. I've got about 9 of these 6x6 little canvas frames, and I'm going to be doing not really touch-up work, but I'm going to be stenciling in some beach life today on these final ones. The one I just showed you, it's got resin on it already. It's all nice and resined, and basically this it's not usually my type of style to be stenciling in something like this. I guess these make great gifts. People like them. It all happened by accident. I was just working on one day on some I was actually doing a test for this piece right here to make sure that the shell would stick, so I made an epoxy glue for it. I have a couple different glue styles, and then what happened was I was doing the experiment for the Conto 7 piece because there's a bunch of shells glued up in that one. So I just was practicing one day, stumbled upon this whole thing by accident. I liked it. I threw some sand in here and some glitter, and then I stenciled in beach life. So again, one project sometimes leads into another, almost like little stepping stones. And this is what I got now. I got 9 frames here that are ready to be painted up with the stenciling, all different colors and styles. This is one of my favorite ones right here. It's just a very minimal, little different values of pink and white, and I really like the way it came out. It just has a nice, makes it feel good, free flow, loose form of painting with the spirals. So anyways, that's what we're getting into today. We're going to be doing basically stenciling them in. I'm going to do a resin pour later on all of them. We're going to knock them out all at one time. Maybe try to have a little bit side project here and there. And tools I'm using today, obviously you got my knife, I've got my my brushes. I started with using 3 different brushes, and I went back to the first one, which was this one. I found this one worked the best. So I got my stencil, brush, titanium white, some water, towels of course, rags, and that's it basically. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna dab these in there. I don't want them to be perfect. I don't want them to look cheesy. I feel that sometimes when you're doing this with the stenciling, if you make them all perfect, it just looks cheesy. And that's just my opinion. For my style of art, that's what works for me. I don't like to, if anybody's ever painted with me before, you know that I don't like to paint pretty. I love the imperfections in art. To me, I feel like that's what makes them special. And some of your best work comes from mistakes sometimes. That's been my experience anyway. I've discovered some of my best techniques. Just got a little paint on this one real quick. I'm gonna wash it off. No big deal. I've found that there's been times where I've made mistakes and I've been able to turn them into really cool things. Got a little bit of paint on this one as well. No biggie. All right, let's continue here. So I'm just gonna tap these in just a little bit. I've got the letters. I want the letters to be kind of just loose, really loose and free and lazy. Kind of like a day at the beach. Just loose, free, lazy. Got your toes dipped in the sand. Maybe having a cold brew. That's probably what I'd be doing. So here we go again. Just tapping them in. And keeping it real loose with these letters. So here's a case where the letters got too close together. That the visual optics on that aren't really that good, so I'm going to change it. And of course you're probably saying, well, I thought you didn't like perfect. Well, I don't like perfect, but also I don't like sloppy. So there's a difference. And it's these little details that, you know, you take care of right now. People, when they go, you know, if you want to make that happy buck off of one of your paintings, these are the things that are going to separate you from other artists and their work. And these are the little things that people really like and care about, and will make them decide if they want to pull the trigger on spending their hard-earned cash on one of your paintings or not. Bouncing around letters. I want the letters bouncing around, just kind of fun, like just a fun time at the beach. It's a good idea to try to clean your stencil off after every letter application. Oh, this one's gonna be bouncing around real well. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Another note is, you know, I'm making about 9 or 10 of these, and I don't want them to all be the same. You know, I want them to be, each one to be different, even though they're all within the same series, but I want them to be different. That B got a little bit close there, but you know what? I'm gonna leave it. I'll leave that one. And when you're doing your pieces, hey, you know what? You do whatever you like with your letters. You bounce them out around all over the place. Make them light, make them dark. You know, however you want. This is just how I like to stencil. Kind of imperfect, a little dreamy, whimsical. Sometimes I do stenciling in the background depending on the piece, just very subliminal. It's easy for me to say. Alright, so I like where the letters landed on this one, but I've got a little bit of residue from the stencil, because I probably forgot to wipe it off, but I'm just going to take a brush, and I'm just going to brush these out real quick. See that? I just kind of held the rag real steady, kind of held it in place and dragged it out. I just got to go back and touch up the F. No big deal, easy peasy. Let's talk about work. So there's times when you don't want to paint. Happens to me sometimes, I'm sure it happens to everybody. The stenciling project is really cool because it kind of gets you back into that creative state, and it gets your creative juices flowing, and it makes me want to paint more. This isn't my forte, and I call this doing work. And that's what we're doing today. We're doing some work. But I got myself into it, and I got to commit now and finish this project. So I'm doing work today. That's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing here today. We're working. And then once we get done working with this project, we can go and play and start on some other projects. Just doing a little erasing there, using the erase technique, the brush erase technique. If you ever put like blotches or stray marks on a painting and you don't want to use a rag to get it out, dip your brush in some water and just kind of erase it out. It works. Try it. Be surprised. Good time to do a little erasing. And even though I'm calling this work, I am having fun with it. That's why I'm kind of bouncing the letters around, just letting it be kind of free-flowing. So I am having fun. Just trying to make a point that sometimes you gotta work. So now looks like a really good time for a frescoes tip. My E started getting a little cakey and from the paint drying on there. So I went ahead and got one of my bamboo skewers and just cleaned it up, which is a good thing that happened, because look at all the paint I just peeled off of here. So we're going fresh start right here. And now we're just going to get right back into it. There we go. Look at that. Nice fresh stenciling going on there. So going back to that whole work thing, my philosophy on this being work. Try to make it fun, you know, bounce the letters around, get creative, but you gotta put the work in sometimes. Alright, that's cool, that's cool. Because this is kind of, not monotonous, but I see where some people, this could be kind of tedious if you're not really into it. And I'm just being honest, it's not usually my forte doing, like, you know, art like this. But I like it, it's kind of cool. It's fun. So turning the work into fun. Alright guys, so I've got my first one done. So I'm just going to go ahead and move it along here, finish off the rest, and we'll be back in a little while to get into some resining. Alright y'all, so I've stumbled onto a new technique here, and this is where, for me personally, this is when I start to have fun right here. So basically I'm still doing the same thing, I'm just dabbing them in there. However, I am working with a little bit more wet paint right now. So what's going to happen, you'll see here in a second. I'm really excited about this technique, in case you can't tell. I couldn't wait to share it with you guys. And it happened because of an accident. So, you know, Bob Ross used to say it best, we don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents. Well, I just had one and I'm kind of happy and excited about it. Are you ready for this? Oh no! Fresco faux pas! Alright, crisis averted. That's why you always gotta have your tools close by. Now the only thing, I'm trying to work fast here because I'm trying to keep the paint from drying for the technique I'm about to do. So basically, I'm doing this. I'm just gonna just pull down just a little bit. There, you see the drags? Get this into frame here. See if I can get that F going. Yeah, there we go. Just did a drag on some of these letters. Gives it a cool little effect. And it all happened by accident because earlier when I was cleaning off that one area, I did this drag. Look at that, how cool it came out. I actually, by accident, I just kind of dragged the E and I was like, let me drag all the letters. So I took the cloth and I just dragged it across and it gave it kind of a cool effect. Kind of it like it's at the beach and it's a windy day. The sand's being blown away. Maybe somebody wrote some letters into the beach, into the sand. The wind came and kind of blew it away a little bit. So anyways, keep moving along with my beach life. What? Alright y'all, I got the pink one all finished up. Got the little drag effect that I did with the brush. That came out pretty cool. Again, it was an accident. Turned a misfortune into my little fortune there. Nice little technique. Gives it a little distressed look, and it doesn't make it all nice and perfect and pretty, which is my favorite. So we're going to finish up here with all of these, and then I'll come back to you guys when I'm ready to get into some resin. I'm psyched about that. See you then. Alright guys, welcome back. It's your boy Complicated Art Man, aka Alfresco, and we're here today talking about that beach life. Today we're going to get into the resining portion of this project. And yesterday we talked about work, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do some resin work. So I've got the thumbtack method going today. I got all the thumbtacks out here. All the little canvases are thumbtacked down. This is going to be a lot easier later on when we have to move them around, because I don't have enough painter's pyramids, and the painter's pyramids are going to move around and get knocked over all over the place, and it's going to be silly time, and we don't want to do silly time here. Complicated Art Man. Resin's going to drip over the sides. If I need to move them around, boom, pick them up, boom, set them back down. It's all good to go. Thanks for tuning into the YouTube channel here, Complicated Art Man. Cheers. Alright guys, I got the resin. It's all mixed up like pasta primavera. Yeah. Got my torch ready to go. Not going to go through all the resin tips right now. We're going to fly right through this pour. If you want to get some resin tips, go check out my How to Resin a Triptych video, the Peppermint Splatty one, alright? So here we go, let's do this. Alright, here we go. Always interesting. Here I am utilizing the spread and chop method with my painter's stick and yellow dog spatula. Recycling the excess resin, or dirty resin as I like to call it, is super resourceful. The thumbtack method was an essential part of this resin pour and helped eliminate disaster time. Painter's pyramids would have been an absolute disaster in this scenario. I absolutely love this technique, the resin finger drag. This technique ensures optimal resin coverage around the corners and edges of your project, ensuring no dead zones. Tell you what guys, I'm having some real serious glove issues right now. It got to silly time with the gloves, but I'm all gloved up, ready to go. Bam! Keep the torch dancing and moving around your project. Alright guys, looks really good. Very minimal on the bubbles. Only thing I see are little like ridges. They kind of look like reverse craters, but that's because of the sand that's in the project. So that's all good. I got the coverage on the sides pretty good. I'm going to go over them one more time. Probably cover them up after that and let them sit until tomorrow. Welcome back. So resin time is over. We did our resin work. The resin is pretty much done. It's getting all sticky and it's getting super, it's still a little drippy, but it's getting thick, so it's over, it's done. We got some good results here, hardly any bubbles, looks great. I've got them all ready to be covered up here in a second. I'm gonna try to see if I can get you guys a little behind the scenes, maybe underneath the curtains later for a sneak peek type of deal, you know what I'm saying. And that's really about it. We're just gonna cover these up, let them dry, come back tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow's day 3, the final day, and we'll be done with the Beach Life canvas resining dealio. Once again, it's your boy Complicated Art Man, aka Alfresco. Day 2 out. Welcome back to the Complicated Art Man channel. You know who it is. Alright guys, it's a beautiful day here in sunny Orlando, Florida. I feel really good. It feels kind of like spring. It's not quite there yet, hasn't sprung yet, but it's right around the corner. It's Mardi Gras time. St. Patty's Day is right around the corner, and I feel good. You know what though? I can always feel just a little bit better. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so here's the deal. Let's talk about some Beach Life. Beach Life project is done. The pieces came out awesome. The resining process couldn't have gone any smoother. I'm very happy and satisfied with the result here. You know, this project took me out of my comfort zone. I had to think of, outside the box a little bit. I wasn't too convinced about the Beach Life and the stenciling, but you know what? I'm really happy with the result here. I'm glad that I went ahead and committed to the work. We talked about work, I committed to it, and when I look at all these canvases and the finished pieces, I'm really excited and really happy about the way they turned out. The thumbtacks were a key part to this whole project. I like the painter's pyramids. They're cool and all, but it would have been an absolute disaster working with those in the resin and having to move these all around, you know, especially when I was doing the finger drag technique on them. So, you know, the thumbtacks, try it out, you know what I'm saying? So Beach Life is done. We're gonna be moving on to some other masterpieces, and the hat is a clue to my next couple of pieces. All I can say is that it involves one of my favorite board games of all time. It's a classic. Guys, if you want to read up on my latest projects, go to my website, complicatedartman.com. Any of my masterpieces that you want to pick up there on complicatedartman.com, message me through the contact information. And you know what? I'm going to give you 20% off any of the pieces if you mention that you saw me here on YouTube. Alright guys, we are done here. Beach Life is all done. Thank you for joining me. Please leave any comments or suggestions in the comments, of course, and I will get back to you on those. In the meantime guys, you know what to do. Stay creative and keep on painting. Out. Enjoy the Beach Life pics as well as my other artworks. Thanks for watching the video.